Some of the world's smartest billionaire investors are making quiet moves. They are getting ready for a huge shift in the silver market. And frankly, it's a shift that could leave most people in the dust. They see what's happening. Governments are pumping massive amounts of money into the system. Faith in regular currency is starting to fray, and a powerful trend that's been building for decades is about to kick into high gear. So, what's the game plan for this coming silver boom? While everyone else is getting distracted by the noise, legendary resource investor Rick Rule is methodically building his positions. He is getting ready for what he believes will be a historic revaluation of precious metals. In this video, I'm breaking down the 3 silver stocks I'm personally buying for 2025, and I'm using the playbook of that exact legendary investor. These aren't just dart throws, they're companies I've chosen for their specific spot in the market cycle. Each one gives you a unique way to play the coming surge in silver prices. And you'll want to stick around for my number 1 pick because it's a gold company that Rick Rule himself thinks is one of the most undervalued ways to play silver right now. This is the inside track you've been looking for. I am Turbo, and this is Turbo Stacking, where we stack with purpose. Let's roll. I am interested in seeing a visual representation of channel members versus non-members. If you could, please comment below with a TS for Turbo Stacker channel subscriber. I will be using the TS as a search term for the 1,000 subscriber video, of which I'm in the planning stages of. And honestly, I'm trying to kick it down the road for another week or so as I'm waiting for a vendor's delivery before I can move forward, specifically with the giveaway. Also, going forward, if you want your comments to be entered into the drawing, please prepend the letters TS to all of your comments on future videos as well as this one until the drawing has been made. Again, that should be within the next 2 weeks. Before we get to stocks, you have to understand why big money investors like Rick Rule are so bullish on silver right now. This isn't a random bet. It's a calculated move based on some powerful forces that are just impossible to ignore. First up is the core of Rick's thesis, the collapse of trust. For decades, the entire world has run on faith in central banks and the US dollar. But that faith is cracking. When governments run huge deficits and just print money to pay for it, the value of that money goes down. It's simple math. Rick has been vocal about his deep concerns over the loss of purchasing power in the dollar, drawing parallels to the inflationary crisis of the 1970s. When that happens, money doesn't just vanish, it runs for safety. It looks for a store of value that a politician can't just create out of thin air. For thousands of years, that safe harbor has been gold and silver. Now, gold usually leads the way in a precious metals bull market. It's the ultimate financial insurance, the thing even central banks hoard when they get nervous. We've already seen gold break out to new highs, but there's a secret savvy investors know: silver always follows gold. And when silver decides to move, it moves with incredible force. Rick Rule has seen this exact pattern 3 times in his career. The leadership torch gets passed from gold to silver, partly because of its lower price tag, attracts a flood of everyday investors who feel like they missed the first part of the gold run. This is where things get explosive. Unlike gold, well over half of all silver demand is industrial. In fact, industrial use now accounts for about 59% of all silver consumption. It's essential for everything from solar panels and EVs to 5G networks and all our favorite gadgets. That demand isn't going away. It's required for the green energy transition. For years now, we've been in a structural deficit, meaning we use more silver than we mine. This puts a solid floor under the price. So you've got a situation where investment demand is coiled like a spring, right at the moment when industrial demand is already sucking up all the available supply. It's a perfect storm, and it's why many bullish analysts are calling for silver to hit $40 or even $50 an ounce in 2025. The question isn't if it's going to happen, but how you get positioned before it does. All right, my number 3 pick is the company that perfectly captures the hidden gem idea. Fortuna Silver Mines, ticker FSM. Right now, you might be thinking, wait, Fortuna? Isn't that mostly a gold company now? And you're exactly right. That's what makes this such a smart Rick Rule style play. Rick has talked about adding Fortuna to his own portfolio, and his logic is a masterclass in contrarian thinking. He sees that Fortuna is now gold dominant, and that has made the old school silver investors, the silver constituency, if you will, as he likes to call them, dump the stock. All that selling has made the company incredibly cheap compared to its assets and its financial strength. Rick's whole strategy is to buy quality when nobody else wants it, and Fortuna is a perfect fit. Let's talk numbers. In the second quarter of 2025, Fortuna posted a huge EBITDA margin of 55% and generated over $57 million in free cash flow. They ended the quarter with over $500 million in liquidity. That financial muscle comes mostly from their gold mines, especially the Lindero mine in Argentina and the powerhouse Segula mine in Cote d'Ivoire. This gusher of cash from gold gives them a massive edge. They can handle any market swings, pay for their own exploration, and grow the business without constantly watering down their stock by selling more shares. But what about silver? This is the kicker. While gold is paying for the bills, Fortuna still has a major silver production coming from its Caloma mine in Peru. And even though they recently sold the San Jose mine in Mexico, which was finalized in late 2024, they've shifted their focus to more profitable assets. This means you're buying the company at a valuation that pretty much ignores its silver, but you still get all the upside when silver prices take off. It's like getting a free lottery ticket for a silver bull market. If Rick has one knock on Fortuna, it's that they run a handful of smaller mines instead of one giant one, which can be more complex. But that diversification is also a form of safety. A problem in one country doesn't sink the whole ship. They've got operations in Latin America and West Africa, spreading their risk around. For me, Fortuna is the perfect base for a precious metals portfolio. It's a value play. You're getting a rock-solid cash-flowing gold producer for cheap because the market is hung up on the name. You get the stability of gold with the explosive, overlooked power of silver. It's a smart, patient move straight from the Rick Rule playbook. Next up is a stock for anyone who understands how fortunes are made in the mining world. The jump from being a developer to a producer. My number 2 pick is Discovery Silver, ticker DSV. This company is all about the massive re-rating potential Rick Rule loves to talk about, where a stock's value could jump 5 times or even 10 times as it proves its project and gets closer to making money. Discovery Silver's story is about one single asset, the Cordero project in Chihuahua, Mexico. And when I say one asset, I mean a world-class Tier 1 monster. Cordero is one of the biggest undeveloped silver deposits on the planet. The scale is just mind-boggling. The company's feasibility study lays out a plan for a mine with a 19-year life, cranking out an average of 37 million ounces of silver a year for the first 12 years. Wow. To put that into perspective, that would make Cordero one of the top silver producers in the world. And this isn't just a big pile of rock. The economics work. The study shows a net present value of $1.2 billion after taxes, and that's pretty conservative silver price of just $22 an ounce. At the higher silver prices many expect, the numbers get ridiculously good. So what makes this a Rick Rule pick? 2 things: people and catalysts. Rule says it over and over. He invests in the jockey, not the horse. Discovery is run by a team that has actually built and operated mines before. This isn't their first rodeo. They know how to handle the headaches of permitting, financing, and construction. And that leads to the catalyst. Discovery is right on the edge of a huge transformation. The company said it expects to make a final construction decision on Cordero, and that's the inflection point. The moment they secure the funding and start moving dirt, the market will stop seeing Discovery as a risky explorer and start valuing it as a future producer. The stock gets a whole new valuation, attracting big institutional investors who couldn't touch it before. Of course, there's risk. Building a mine is a huge job, and Mexico can be a tricky place to operate, but Discovery has been checking all the boxes to lower that risk. They've got the land. They're moving through the permitting process, and the feasibility study gives them a clear roadmap. For an investor who wants that explosive growth potential, Discovery Silver is an asymmetric bet. The downside is protected by the sheer size and quality of the Cordero deposit. The upside is a clear shot at becoming a major silver producer just as the silver market is heating up. It's a calculated bet on a world-class project run by a top-tier team. Exactly the kind of story that can create life-changing wealth. We've made it to my number one silver stock for 2025. We've covered a value play and a high-growth developer. Now let's talk about pure, unadulterated quality. My top pick is MAG Silver, ticker MAG. This company isn't about hoping to find silver or hoping to build a mine. It's about owning a piece of what is arguably the best new silver mine on the planet. MAG Silver owns 44% of the Juanicipio mine in Mexico. The other 56% is owned and operated by Fresnillo, one of the biggest and most experienced silver miners in the world. This partnership is brilliant. MAG puts up its share of the cash, but it gets to benefit from Fresnillo's operational expertise and infrastructure. This takes a massive amount of risk off the table for MAG shareholders. But the real story here is the grade. In mining, grade is king, and Juanicipio is royalty. The silver grades are just insane, consistently averaging over 400 grams per ton. To put that into perspective, most miners would kill for grades of 100 or 150 grams per ton. Juanicipio is in a different league entirely. In its recent Q2 2025 production report, the mine produced an incredible 4.3 million ounces of silver and over 10,400 ounces of gold. These aren't just plans, these are actual results from a mine that is fully ramped up and running like a clock. That super high grade leads directly to jaw-dropping low costs. Because the ore is so rich, the cost to produce each ounce of silver is incredibly low. In fact, when you factor in the value of the gold, zinc, and the lead that they also produce, Juanicipio's all-in sustaining costs are some of the lowest in the industry. For Q1 2025, the all-in sustaining cost was just $2.04 per ounce of silver sold. This means MAG Silver is wildly profitable at almost any silver price, and as silver goes up, nearly every single dollar falls straight to the bottom line. The operating leverage is off the charts. MAG Silver is on track to hit its 2025 production guidance, which makes it a reliable cash-gushing machine. For investors, MAG is a pure high-torque play on the price of silver, backed by a world-class asset, a world-class partner, and a world-class economic situation. While Discovery Silver gives you the most explosive potential for becoming a producer, MAG Silver gives you the elite status of already being a top-tier producer, with one of the best assets on Earth. When the silver bull market really kicks in and big money starts flooding into the sector looking for the best and safest way to get exposure, they're going to land on MAG Silver. It is a crown jewel, a fortress of profitability, and my number one pick to ride the coming silver wave. So that's the breakdown. 3 silver stocks I'm buying for 2025, each with a specific job to do in a portfolio that's ready for a major precious metals bull market. We started with our number 3, Fortuna Silver Mines, or FSM, the contrarian value play. You're getting a financially solid gold producer that the market is overlooking, which gives you a free shot at a rising silver price. It's the smart, patient foundation. Next up was number 2, Discovery Silver, the high-octane developer. With its world-class Cordero project about to get the green light for construction, it offers the shot at a massive re-rating and the kind of explosive returns that can change your life. And my number 1 pick, MAG Silver, MAG, the undisputed king of quality. With its piece of the ultra high grade, low cost Juanicipio mine, it offers pure leveraged exposure to a rising silver price from one of the best assets you can own. The writing is on the wall. A major shift is coming from the loss of faith in fiat currencies to the undeniable supply and demand crunch. The case for silver has rarely been stronger. Following the playbook of legendary investors like Rick Rule gives us a roadmap. The time to get your portfolio ready isn't when silver is all over the news. The time is now, while the opportunity is still being built. If you got any value out of this breakdown, do me a favor, hit the like button. It really helps the channel and tells YouTube you want to see more content like this. Make sure you subscribe. If you got any value out of this breakdown, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel and tells YouTube you want to see more content like this. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss my next video. And let me know in the comments which silver stocks you're buying for 2025. I read every single one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. God bless. As you were, stack with purpose, turbo out.